Ask you, what was it like kind of leaning on each other down the stretch? Any things you guys did to kind of bond together as both Gophers and Blackhawks?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, sharing last year with him, we were roommates as well, and he's just a great guy. We kind of leaned on each other, like you said. Obviously, he's a really highly touted player and someone I can learn a lot from in his game, and obviously going against him in practice and stuff. Someone I can lean on, and definitely a great guy to have around.
What'd you learn about each other as roommates? Who's messier?
I learned he's probably the messier guy for sure. I think he's a more laid back kid than I might have even anticipated. He just likes to chill, listen to music, and I'm a little bit more kind of riled up. I like to do stuff. He does too, but no, it was great. I think we blended well together as roommates. Kept the room as clean as possible, but it was fun.
As an opponent, what scouting report would you give on Leinoff having played against him in the Big Ten this year?
Yeah, I think the first thing that kind of jumps off the page is he's really offensive. In our pre-scouts and stuff, I just remember that was kind of the thing we had for him, was really offensive, jumps into play, but he's smart with it. And obviously his skating ability and how big he is, he can close really well. So I think he's an all-around player, and I think the Blackhawks are pumped to have him for sure.
Some of you prospects have been in the Frozen Four. How much chirping is going on with you guys? How's that make you all better?
Yeah, fortunately we didn't make it this year, but I feel like Aiden Thompson and Frankie Nazar have been going at it quite a bit. Greene too for sure has been in there, but I think it's fun. We got a good amount of college guys for sure coming up, even the guys that got drafted this year. Sasha, I know. Mustard's going into Providence, so we'll have some friendly competition for sure, and it's always nice getting to be with those guys.
How would you assess your season?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of ups and downs. Slow start for sure, not the start I wanted, just offensively and with the adjustments that were being made and stuff. But adversity is good. Learned to deal with it a lot this year, and I feel like I gained a lot of confidence, especially after winning World Juniors, which is obviously an unbelievable experience as well. And I feel like I'm having a really good summer right now. It's been a little longer summer, and nice to not be running around as much. But it was a good season.
Was the adjustment just getting used to playing against older players?
Yeah, I think that for sure. I think college it's different than junior. You're doing more schoolwork. It's just, the lifestyle's a little different, and, just a lot of things to kind of handle at once. But, I feel like I'm really preparing a lot for my sophomore season, and having, like I said, a little bit more time to do that will help me get off to a better start and a little bit more consistency throughout next year for sure.
What adjustments are you planning to make on the ice going into next season?
Yeah, I think I've changed a lot of my off-ice stuff that I was doing before. Working a lot, obviously more speed and power, and that I feel like I'm physically more adjusted now, and a lot more speed and power. And I think hockey also, it's just big to have just as big of a motor as possible. Working a lot on conditioning and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been good.
What changes did you make to the off-ice routines to get that speed and power?
Yeah, I think a lot of what I was doing before was just building a base of strength, like I said, and lifting a lot more weight. I feel like now I'm doing more sprint stuff, plyometrics. I'm working out at the University of Minnesota, so Cal Dietz obviously is really well known for that, and I'll take a lot of his stuff and learn a lot from him. So,
what was your excitement level like when the Hawks selected Leinoff, just knowing what he's capable of?
Yeah, I was excited. I think obviously a lot of good players at the top of the draft, but obviously being able to play against him this year and knowing what he's capable of, I feel like he's just scratching the surface, and getting to know him a little bit too. He's a good guy, funny guy, and just excited that he's a part of the organization.
Do you kind of feel like a leader at this development camp after you've gone through everything last year and with some of these guys coming in this year?
Yeah, I think that, the Blackhawks do a really good job. A lot of guys are leaders here for sure. You can kind of see that from their respective programs. But obviously it being my second year, a little bit more comfortable. I feel like learned a lot from the guys last year who helped me out when I was getting drafted, and I can kind of be that kind of guy for the new draft picks as well, which is nice.
Still keeping in touch with Bedard? You guys texting and all?
Not a ton. He's obviously pretty busy and stuff, but he just keeping in touch with him, just congratulating him on the call and stuff. But obviously he had a great year, and it was fun to watch him for sure.
So just how your first couple days in Chicago been?
Yeah, it's been really good. Everyone's great here. Facility's great. Staff's all great. Players are phenomenal. Everyone's bonding and getting together. So, so far so good.
Who's going to give you the tour?
Of the rink?
Of the city.
Of the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just we go out for supper, a bunch of the guys every now and then. So I think, just hanging out with the guys, like, finding our ways to restaurants and everything like that kind of just tours it on its own. But I'm working my way around.
What were the conversations like with Chicago before the draft? Was there any indication that they may trade up to get you? Talk us through that.
No real indication of that. I talked to them throughout the year and at the combine, but like nothing too crazy. I knew they liked me and had some interest, but I didn't know that was going to happen.
What do you want to do this week in terms of, obviously this is a different development camp, and if it was the normal one, I don't think you would be able to do anything on the ice anyway, but just, what do you look to accomplish this week with everything?
Yeah, just to kind of build relationships with teammates and the staff and everyone like that. But just kind of, set my name out there for everyone and kind of just learn a lot and get a good experience out of this. And then leading into the summer and kind of set my mindset straight. I have a shoulder injury too, so kind of just working through that here, and they're helping me a lot. But kind of just having fun and enjoying it and, taking it all in.
What is the timeline for that shoulder again?
It's they say 4 to 6 months, so somewhere in there.
What kind of tips have they given you as far as working with that and the rehab?
I started physio back at home and I kind of carried it over to here, but they've just kind of been helping me with that and working on me on the bed and everything like that. But even in the gym, helping me doing my lower body stuff and everything. Kind of just being that second guide for me, and hopefully by the time I leave, it's going to be even better and stronger, and kind of have a set standard timeline to start doing more things.
Is it tennis ball for strength, or is it just a coordination thing?
The tennis ball?
Yeah.
It's kind of the game we got going on. Not for strength or my shoulder or anything like that. Everyone has a tennis ball, and you try to take other people's tennis balls. So, it's kind of just a fun team bonding thing we got going on for the whole week. You get points if you put it in another person's tennis ball in a basket. So it's pretty fun. Everyone's having a good time with it.
You don't have to wear a non-contact jersey for that?
I don't, but they did say I'm off limits for tackling.
Once you do get back on the ice, once you're all healed and everything like that, what are you looking to do this coming season?
Yeah, I'm looking to do some big things, hopefully being a key role for my team back in Brantford. But we're going to have a really strong team, and I just want to be a key part of that all over the ice. No real set numbers or anything like that, kind of just, play my game, really set myself as that go-to player. But like I said, we're going to be a really strong team, so I'm hoping we can take it far.
What's the reunion been like with you and Nick Lardis?
Yeah, it's been awesome since he's been here. We hang out quite a bit. We kind of have that, we gel pretty well. So just to have him around, and he's been here for a year already, so to him tour me around the facilities and hang out with a bunch of the guys, it's been a lot easier for me, that I feel like. But he's such a good guy, so nice to be around him and everything like that, and I just can't wait to keep moving forward with him.
His game, and how was he to play against?
Yeah, obviously he's big, he's mobile, he's a two-way defenseman, so you just got to be aware when he's on the ice, obviously, when we play him. So he likes to be sneaky, and so wherever he is, you just got to pay attention, especially kind of the wingers or forwards, or they kind of got to be dialed in, just knowing where he's at, kind of all over the ice.
What did you each think of your seasons this past year?
I thought I had a good season. I thought, I've made a lot of improvement during the year, and kind of, being in my freshman year, I was able to kind of improve over the season, and hopefully looking to just come back next season with more experience and kind of jump out the gate running. So.
Sam, how did your fellow Blackhawks pick Oliver Moore kind of push you guys down the stretch with each other?
I just think it's me and him, obviously both being in the same room, both freshmen. Obviously, we're kind of going through the process together, so just kind of feeding off each other. Maybe when one's doing well and one's kind of struggling, you're able to kind of get the other guy maybe advice or whatever it is. So.
Well, I will give you an opportunity to answer the previous question. How did you develop? Where did you make strides?
I had a really good year. Yeah, great, close group of guys this year. Made it a lot of fun. Obviously, I thought we had a pretty successful season, making it back to the Frozen Four. Fell up short, but still proud of the improvements that I made and the guys that I was with and how far we went.
Your decision to go back to college, was it primarily driven to wanting to win a national title with your guys, or what was
Partially, my freshman and sophomore year now, losing in the Frozen Four, obviously, still stings, and you still really can't fully forget it. But I mean, yeah, there's definitely like a revenge factor a little bit. You want to get another crack at that and, you know, hopefully win a national championship.
What other factors were there for you?
For me, like, I thought another year would just, you know, help me continue to round out my game. I still think that there's things that I can prove. I think I can prove more of myself offensively. And then, yeah, I never think there's too much time to, you know, round out your game and continue to improve.
Ryan, did Macklin indicate whether he was going back to BU? Did that have any impact in your decision to go back to BU?
I haven't talked to Mac much about that. He kind of keeps that to himself, I would say. I'm sure that's a decision that he's going to make coming up soon here as he gets closer to the season starting. But yeah, I mean, I don't talk to him too much about that stuff, but unbelievable guy.
Sam, as a first-round pick, you're taking kind of a longer trajectory here. What do you see as your timeline to the pros? Like, when do you imagine yourself in a Blackhawks uniform?
Yeah, obviously I'm kind of new going in that it was maybe going to be a little longer for me to even like fill out my frame, which I'm currently doing. It's just obviously not going to be over one season or one summer. So, you know, right now I'm focused on, you know, going back to Minnesota and being in the present, you know, whether it's here or there. So, you know, whatever it happens, but I'm just focused on the present and just keeping getting better with my game. So.
What was it like being with Oliver for the freshman year too?
That was great. We're going to be living with each other again next year, so I can tell you maybe it went well. So.
What weight are you now, and just in general, how is the strength and like weight gaining going?
Yeah, I fluctuate a lot kind of from morning and night, so I'm around that 190 mark, I would say. So, you know, whatever it is, hopefully get to 200 or 195 kind of next season going in, and then after that, hopefully 200 plus, and then whatever happens. So.
How do you do that? Do you have to like eat ridiculous amounts, or is it just a slow, steady?
Yeah, just eat as much as you can, kind of making sure you're eating a lot before you go to bed or whatever it is, but making sure it's good food and it's not just much fat or whatever it is. So just making sure it's good muscle and good fats as well.
Yeah, I'm failing at that. Yeah.
What are you guys eating? What are you guys eating for both of you? Like, how have you changed your diet?
I guess it's more so just like trying to, like, it's not going to happen right away. You're not going to be able to just, you know, transform into like the perfect eater, but at the same time, it's like taking those little steps and just trying to, you know, focus and discipline yourself more and more each day. For me, it was like a little tough, my freshman year especially, like living off like a dining hall and having to eat there. But now being like an older guy at school, I get like a kitchen and things like that. So just like meal planning, prepping, just honestly just trying to learn more about all of it as the days go by.
Yeah, I think for me, kind of similar to what he said, obviously freshman year you have the dorm, which can kind of be a tough task at times, but firstly they have great food in Minnesota, so we have Athletes Village there that we're able to get food, but next year it's going to be way better where I can cook meals and I can make ground beef with rice or whatever it is, so yeah, just making sure you're sticking to a routine and being consistent, really.
I feel like last year's development camp there was like a cooking exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys doing that this year?
Yeah, we did it again this year. We were on the same team last year too. We didn't get the job done, but we tried, yeah.
I mean, do you guys pick up good habits from those things, or is it just all kind of a fun experience?
It's a bit of both. Like, you learn a little bit, but at the same time, it's just fun to be with the team that you're with at camp and just trying your best to make the best meal for the judges. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, Mark Eaton was saying that this style of development camp allows you guys to just kind of bond and mesh together without the competition on the ice. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I think obviously everyone's competitive here, so kind of whatever it is people want to win at, whether it's cooking or, but you know, making now you're just kind of getting to know the guys and just making sure everyone feels welcome and kind of just enjoying the time while you're in here. So,
do you guys talk at all about like the team that the Blackhawks are building, like with all of you prospects and the talent in there? Do you kind of look ahead, or do you not allow yourselves to do that?
Obviously you see stuff with maybe guys that are picking or whatever, but you know, at times you focus on yourself, but obviously you hear a lot of social media, it's speed, size, and you know, smarts or whatever it is, so you can see that they have kind of their plan they want to do, and you know, we're just making sure ourselves as players that, you know, we're just going to be our full potential in the future. So
Ryan, with a couple Frozen Fours in your back pocket and going back for another, how do you see yourself evolving as a leader at BU this season?
Yeah, like, I think being an older guy, like I said earlier, I think that allows me to be in a role where, you know, I have high influence on my teammates, and, you know, I can lead, whether that's, you know, vocally or by example, and that's something that I'm excited to do. I've had great captains in the past, and I've learned a lot from the older guys, so to be in that position now, you know, it's something you want to take pride in and be a good role model for the younger guys.
You both played in your respective big games this year across the board. Is there anything with your game this year that you were particularly proud of, where you saw the most improvement?
I think for me, obviously, a knack on me was my defensive ability, and I think that took big strides this year. Going up a level with the college level. I think I was making sure I was shutting guys' players and just using my abilities, my skating, and everything with my reach. Then obviously I want to keep growing my offensive game as well. So.
Yeah, for me, I think I was able to round out my game more than I had in my freshman year. I was relied on a lot more this year as a sophomore, and played in pretty much every situation for my team. So to just get experience like that, and to put out there in those situations was something that I was able to learn from and grow from.
Sam, to follow up on your answer, how do you kind of get that balance? Because you are more offensive minded. You even talked about that last year at development camp. How do you find that balance, and how do the coaches work with you to help create that balance?
Big credit to Coach Motzko and Coach Killer there, and it's just making sure I'm getting down little details. And I think for me, it's also just I'm maturing. I'm getting a little older, so it's kind of all coming together a little bit. Kind of just time goes on, but I'm just making sure I'm using my strengths to my ability. Whether it's surfing guys off. Nowadays it's you kind of don't want to skate backwards as a defenseman at times. So just making sure I'm confident in my abilities with my skating and everywhere else. So just making sure I'm using it to the other side of the rink as well.
Are you looking forward to turning pro and what you're gonna learn here?
Yeah, a little
2-game season.
Yeah, a little nervous. But we have a good group of guys like Savoy and Ludwinski, so it should be fun.
How do you feel like the prospects are getting closer with the off-ice stuff a couple of years of development camp?
We're doing a lot of like mental stuff too. I think it's great. We did a little Johnny Oduya like breathing thing today, which was great. I mean, bring that stuff home and work on it. So.
What, a year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you learn about yourself doing this?
I mean, it's kind of just you figure out what works for you. So.
What have you learned about guys like you mentioned that you've been hanging around with? Like, have you been able to have enough time to pick up things about their personality or seeing their work ethic?
I mean, everyone's kind of the same, but everyone's kind of a little different. Like Savoy and those guys are a little louder, but I mean, yeah.
What about Marcel?
He's not here, but
right.
Yeah, but I was in Rockford with him, and he's kind of a quiet guy. I mean, those guys don't really speak too good of English, so kind of are a little quiet.
How did that taste in Rockford at the end of the year and getting some preseason action with the Blackhawks kind of shift your focus going into your season last year?
I mean, there's just too many good guys on the ice. You just the compete level is off the charts, and then obviously going back, and then I was in Flint, and then got traded to the Sioux and got to play with my brother, which was pretty cool. And then the World Juniors. I mean, just being on the ice with all those pro guys is just makes you more way better.
How do you feel about like a lot of the additions that the Hawks have made? Do you feel like it's tougher to rise up to the Chicago level with like all these veterans that they brought in?
I mean, yeah, but like we're still young. We kind of just got to go through the path like everyone else did. So I mean, when the time's there, time's there.
You guys went further in the playoffs. You went further in the playoffs this year. What did you like the most about your game in the playoffs, and what lessons did you take from everything from the 2 rounds that you had?
I was obviously one of the older guys on the team. I was like playing first line, so I was getting a lot of minutes. The coach liked me, so I played penalty kill, power play, so it's kind of different roles. I was out there like 6-on-5 and stuff like that. So.
What was it like playing with your brother too?
I was a little weird at the start. Never really played with any of my brothers, so it was a little weird at the start, but I don't know, it was weird, but yeah.
Then when you did get traded, is there any sort of adjustment, or was it just that excitement of, hey, I'm going to be with my brother, or I'm going to a team obviously that was positioned a lot higher?
I mean, I was on a plane back from Sweden. Then I got the call that I was a Greyhound. So I don't think my brother was home at the time. I don't even remember, but
yeah, I remember calling him, and he was pretty excited.
Did you learn anything about your on-ice personality playing with your brother? I feel like playing with siblings can kind of pull out your more natural self.
Yeah, he's kind of a louder guy on the ice. He likes to chirp. I don't at all, so kind of like, I don't know, let him know a little bit to cool it down a little bit. He was always in the penalty box, so I kind of let him know. But
did you find yourself growing at all as a leader with that? And
yeah,
like
I'd say yeah.
First line stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know, kind of just being a bigger brother to like everyone, but also him.
It's awesome. It's obviously a lot different from everyone else how they're skating, but I think it's been really cool, kind of just not worry about the skating aspect and just worry about the off ice and kind of how to learn to be a pro and learn about the city and learn about the organization a little more. And yeah, it's been awesome.
Would you tell us if you hated it?
What's that?
Would you tell us if it was terrible?
No, I don't think anyone hates it. I mean, we've been playing hockey for so long. Everyone loves to skate, but I think it's been kind of a unique aspect of not skating, and I think it's been pretty cool.
Is it fun to have Marek here?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I texted him right away after the draft. He texted me, and we both kind of texted him before the draft, kind of hoping he'd come to the Blackhawks, but no pressure. And then they traded for that pick, and then I saw his name get called from the Brantford Bulldogs. It's pretty cool. So yeah.
Do they ask you about that ahead of time? Do they ask you your opinion on the guy when they're going through the process?
Yeah, during the year they asked me obviously about Marek and how he was as a person, player, and there's obviously a guy like that. There's nothing negative about him. He's such a positive, great guy around the room and on the ice. So yeah.
Do you feel like they discovered him while watching you? And if that's the case, do you feel like he owes you a cut or whatever you did?
No, I think I don't really think it had that much to do with me. I think he's such a special player, no matter where he's playing, that he was going to get noticed. And Chicago has been looking for fast, skilled players, and he's right up that alley. So,
what should we know about Marek kind of going into this development camp and beyond?
Yeah, obviously, I think you guys see so much on the ice of his speed and skill and the way he plays in the offensive zone and his two-way game. But I think just off the ice too, how much he works. Just seeing him every day last year and the year and a half I've been with him with Brantford and Hamilton, how much he works on and off the ice, just the little things he does too, and yeah, he's such a great teammate, pushes everyone, so I'd say that.
Are you encouraged by your season? You got off to that hot start, injury, little hiccup, but it didn't seem like you skipped a beat when you got back.
Yeah, I mean, I was super motivated. I mean, obviously it was pretty tough to start to kind of get a little hot streak going there with myself and the team, and then kind of have everything just go from a complete stop for about 3 months, and then just have to pick it right back up again in the playoffs. But I mean, I was really motivated to make sure I was ready for the playoffs and help my team, and I thought I did a good job of that.
What do you feel like you grew from last year?
I think just the biggest thing for myself is just keep getting more confident every single year, and obviously the biggest thing for myself, and I'm sure anyone could say that, at a development camp in the NHL, just getting stronger, improving on my strength, not just off the ice, but on the ice too, just making sure I'm winning battles and practicing that, just not even just in the off season, but in practice too. So, yeah.
Are there relationships that you started during development camp last year that, text threads or whatever that you followed through with during the season and then reconnected this year?
Yeah, obviously, pretty much everyone. I mean, Frank Nazar, Moore, all those guys I've been in touch with throughout the year, just kind of texting with them how their season's going and stuff, and text them about the development camp where we're at right now. So it's been cool to kind of keep in touch with those guys and see how they're doing, and then just be here and have a good time with them too.
Do you talk about the Blackhawks too? I mean, are you guys keeping an eye on the team and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's pretty easy for me to say they're my favorite team growing up, so I'm always watching them and watching the games. So we text about it a little bit, but I think the most important thing is kind of just our seasons and talking about that too.
How much did your experience with the Hawks at preseason last year kind of help lead you into your regular season?
Yeah, it was huge. I think just kind of learning how to be a pro and just the different playing style and just kind of where guys are at in different situations. It's just learning even just how to be a pro often on the ice, what people do kind of before games, how to prepare themselves, just watching, Foligno and all the older guys. They've done it so many times, it's cool to kind of watch them do it and just kind of learn and pick from them what they do. So
Kyle was saying that he was getting an eye on Marek when he was watching the game with you while you were injured. What was that experience like, watching a game with the GM?
Yeah, I think I watched a period or two with him. It was pretty cool just to kind of talk with him and chat a little bit about the season, how it was going, and you know, the training camp last year, and obviously about Marek and some of the other prospects. So it was cool to kind of talk with him and catch up with him.
Did you feel nervous? Like, don't say anything stupid?
No, he's such a nice guy. It's really easy to talk to him. I mean, yeah.
How rewarding was it to sign the ELC right at the end of this past season as a third-round pick? Like, you don't see that very often right away.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, obviously having a good first half, it was tough to not be able to play the second half and prove myself even more. But I think I was just really motivated to push myself in the playoffs and have a really good start. And then obviously I was lucky enough to sign the ELC. So yeah.
You see all these recent draft picks and all the recent additions that the Hawks have made in free agency. Do you feel like the competition is getting tougher, like it's getting tighter to get to the NHL level for guys like yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's kind of how it is with any prospect. I mean, there's so many changes throughout the year and in the summer with the deadline and throughout the year. But I think it's most important for myself just to focus on my game, you know, throughout the summer, and just worry about myself and not worry about too much about, you know, what's going on, you know, behind the scenes with other players. And it's kind of out of my control, so just worry about what I can do to, you know, improve my game as much as I can.
You talked a little bit about how the Blackhawks asked you about Marek, type of person he was, and they do put a premium on leadership and character. How do you think you've grown as a person, but also as a leader, especially with the season that you had?
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot. Just coming over from the trade from Peterborough to Hamilton, I think I've learned a lot about what it is to be a good leader. Not just on the ice too, just pushing each other, but just even just off the ice, leading by example and communicating to others. You know, we had a younger group last year with Hamilton, so I kind of took on a bigger leadership role there, and I think I've learned a lot about just how to lead a team, and not just say leading a team just to lead it, but actually understanding what it means and how to, you know, become more of a successful group.
How much do they can communicate to you about what their development plan is for you over, you know, next few months?
Yeah, they've been awesome at that. Even just throughout the year, just checking in every week, doing video on what I could be doing better at, checking on stuff that, you know, if I'm improving on and doing well on, stuff I can continue to, you know, improve on. Even just off the ice as well, just doing check-ins with some of the strength members on the team, little dinners too to check in. It's been awesome, and I think they're going to continue to do that as well for next year and throughout the summer, just keeping in touch with all of us and making sure that we're doing our roles and parts to hopefully become one day Chicago Blackhawks. So it's been awesome.
We all silly like the mayor.